knew the Land Raider.
We actually don't have those. As far as batteries go, though, we do have the real guard battery. Which if it turns out not to be the one that he wants, you can always exchange it for
No! You epic failure! You are not the corn lord expert, you are. Corn is very displeased. Corn is mighty displeased. You have not done your job today.
What most little kids are running after are games. They're looking for something to replace Halo 3 with. They're looking for something to replace their old hobbies. For older teens, drugs, or women, or their personal agendas, like just like scorn and hatred for others, or even if it's things like a bad family. It can be used, this hobby can be used as an escape, it can be used as a tool, it can be used for sport, or it can be used for play, it can be used for a variety of things. Doesn't matter why you play our games, you're always welcome here.
We're taught with a form of salesmanship called to sell ourselves. And it sounds really, really mean and underhanded when you think about it. But basically what we do is we build a rapport with any customer that walks through the door for a number of times. Learn the first name and just remember everything about them.
And, you know, if little Timmy comes in, he wants the Land Raider Crusader, the biggest tank we have. He wants a Baneblade, that god-awful gigantic tank we have that's like $90. And, you know, we're like, well, how big is your Imperial Guard army? You don't have one? Well, you want this $45 box at the start. You know, we're not going to push all the expensive stuff, even though that's what he wants. He won't be able to play with it. So we'll push what he needs, because if he gets what he needs and he plays the game, he will be back. And then we can push the big stuff.
Which, honestly, when I first started coming to a Games Workshop, I thought all GW staff were meat puppets. And as I started working here, I started realizing that the worst part about being a retail meat puppet is being a retail meat puppet. Games Workshop tries to get past that because we're more into the hobby aspect. We're not really into the selling. If you already have the paints, we don't want to sell you how to paint your models, even though we have a book for that. We can show you that, and if you want to, you can take it home for $15 or whatnot. But really, what we'd want is you to sit down here and paint the models.
We always try to maintain that it's a business for us because, you know, we have to keep it open. I mean, I've seen stores close just because they were, you know, people came in and played all the old games that we don't actually carry in them anymore. And they don't buy anything and a store dies. And so, I mean, you know, we do try to promote all the different games. If someone plays Warhammer 40,000, they have a huge 1,000-point army, then we'll try to move them on to Lord of the Rings, you know, try to get them keep going in the hobby. But you know, we don't always want to be just selling, pushing stuff at people. So, you know, it's fun and a business.
You know, honestly, I'm going to have to say that if you're going to judge capitalism by Games Workshop, you're doing it right, because a lot of the products are really based off of what the game piece is, which allows people to rake in the cash. You know, I'm not talking about myself, because I'm not working off of commission. I'm talking about the up and ups. I'm talking about the company in general.
So if you get a little figurine that might cost a few pennies worth of plastic and molding and fabricating gets turned around and costs $10, $20 or something like that. It just strikes me as a scam.
Yeah, scam or not, I'll tell you what. Go ahead and try to make your own 350 model skink army, which have each of the skinks has like 6 different poses, and there's like 300 of them, and they're all hand painted. And okay, yeah, you could shuck out $250 at Games Workshop for all that, or what? Yeah, we swindle you for the pieces, but guess what? From a game point perspective, this hobby is no more expensive than if you were to go out and buy your new set of video games, or your new set of Magic cards, or your new set of Dungeons & Dragons manuals, or your new set of War Machine miniatures. I would actually have to say that for a commercialistic value, this game is expensive, but you ain't seen nothing yet if this is the first thing you've seen like this.
Probably the monetary value of the amount of models that were on the table for Saturday's battle. Yeah, it probably would have hit probably $2,000 to $33,000 in price range. mainly just because models are so expensive, and there were some on there that were pretty big from another company called Forge World, which retail at about $400 a piece. Personally, I think it's like anything else. If it's something you like, why not? I mean, some people collect custom cars, like hot rods and stuff like that. They have nothing against going out and spending $1,200 on some rims for their car. If this is your thing, if this is what gets your motor going, this is what you enjoy doing, it's worth it.
It's exploitative, but it's only if you're willing to be exploited. For the most part, it comes out of mom and dad's pocket, and it's all up to the parents, basically. They're the ultimate enablers.
It really just depends on, like the parents of the younger ones, it's like, this keeps him out of trouble. He's in the house, we know where he is, he's painting, and then on the weekends, where's he going? He's not hanging out with his friends under a bridge somewhere, he's in here playing games. But when it comes to the money value, it's pretty much priceless, because it's the time that you spend, to meet people in here. And even then, I mean, the store's full of helpful hints and help, just to like get you going with what you got, even if you don't have a big wallet, get you playing.
It's a very rare person that doesn't have someone helping them out by pushing them on the back to actually go and buy one of our products right off the bat. There are definite exceptions, and those people are very brave, braver than anybody who wouldn't come in here at all.
People walk by and they kind of look at you odd. I mean, they're not sure if it's the ones that aren't sure if they actually want to come in is the ones that just kind of make me sad, because I mean, if you don't have the courage to just step into a store and decide, oh, I kind of like this, or I don't like this, it doesn't matter, just come in and look. You don't have to stand outside and look at us like we're gonna bite you or something. I mean, we're all people. But and then there's the ones that do come in and they're like, this stuff is gay, and they just leave, and it's like, oh, okay, wow, that was kind of ignorant, but okay.
So the thing is those guys, they tend to walk in, and it's like a group of 4 or 5 of them will walk in with their friends, and they'll all be like, oh, this stuff is stupid, this stuff is dumb. 2 or 3 days later, 2 of the 5 people that were here will be back. They just don't want their friends to know they liked it, because they're embarrassed. It's not macho, it's not cool, but they come back by themselves. They don't have the money for a starter set, but they come by, they watch games and everything, and they're like telling each other, like, look, man, I told you it's cool. But yeah, I have seen changes. I mean, I've seen this hobby drag people out of drugs, and mainly because it's something else to spend money on. Just quit people from smoking, all kinds of stuff like that, just because it becomes almost like an addiction. Because it's so fun, and it is kind of a release. And what is smoking? What is marijuana? The thing about it is, sure, when you walk into a store, you're going to hear things such as like ballistic skills, strength, toughness, 3s are better, 4s are better. But at the end of the day, we're all people. All we are is we're just a collection of people from everywhere that play games. I mean, when we're not playing games, we're talking about the same stuff that you guys are talking about at school. We're talking about life, relationships, cars, everything. It's like people think that all we talk about is like Dungeons and Dragons and nerdy stuff like that. Not at all. But if you come in and you're a regular, you understand it. You get here and it's like, okay, this is a cool place to be, because everybody understands each other. Everybody knows each other's limits.
I think we do that by lending everything out as a service. I think we do that by being there for people. I think we do that by being just literally another episode of Cheers. I mean, everyone knows your name. Everyone.
You don't have to buy anything. Just come on down, hang out, and if you really want to give it a try and see what we really like, just be like, spare us the jargon. Show us what it's really like in here.